Pasado? I don't know. Can you smell what the flock is cooking? Flock up or flock off, not you. You stick around because it's about to go down. You know, flock with the most energetic entity in the Eagleverse on the What the Flock. This is not a What the Flock Friday, bro. That's what are we doing? On the Fly with Fly Friday. Friday. You know what we like to do around this time, about this time, at this time. It's always Eagles o'clock around here. What we got for your flock pots today? We're going to get into a little bit, of course, the draft. The draft is in 6 days. Oh my flock, what? We're going to get a little bit into like whether this is like one of the best Eagles offenses ever that we're going to see coming up. What? We're going to talk about replacements and all kinds of things. D-Jack and your boy Mac, D-Jack and Shady was flocking with John Clark the other day. Man, those dudes are just, it's fucking awesome to see just how much love that our old heads still have for this town, man. It feels crazy calling them dudes old heads. I mean, it's wild, man. Just yesterday. Could this quite possibly be the best offense that we've ever seen for the Philadelphia Eagles, man? I don't know, let's get into a little bit of that. But before we get into that, man, let's get the nest. Keep it out of the way. Keep the maniac thing. Please like and subscribe. If you got that fly, Eagles fly. Drop a comment in that box if you fly with the flock. Let's fly. Do remember, join that maniac thing. Note again, you hit that bell. You get a ding whenever I'm on this YouTube thing. Let's fly. And while that's the maniac thing, let's keep the main thing. Hope this video finds you good vibes, good ties. Fly skies. If you're not there, hope this helps you get there because we're about to go there. Oh, yeah. Let's fly and go, man. Craziest question, man, that I heard. Mac. John Clark, I'm calling him Mac, Shady, D Jackson, John Clark brought up on their show this way takeoff. If you haven't checked it out, check it out, man. Like just hearing these dudes talk about football. I gotta get into their podcast too, bro. Like, yeah, I ain't checked that yet. So I'm about to that might be next on the docket today. That's what I'm gonna throw in my flock pot, as a matter of fact. Here what though? So we got the best offense of all time, and I'm thinking like, okay, this offense, if we're looking at it right here, face value, right here on paper, we've got Hurts, we've got Goddard. We got AJ. We got Smitty. I mean, we got to throw Pascal. Not Pascal. See, I'm something up already. Paris in there. Paris Campbell in there. Like, this is speed. I mean, could he quite possibly be better than Kez? I mean, he's produced more in his career, but, you know, it's been downtick since then. Since I believe he had one great year with the Colts. Who else, bro? Just this offensive line, period. You know, like, running Saquon Barkley. What are we doing over here? Like, so you got that offense, but then it got me to thinking, dude, like if we talking about, and we didn't get to see that offense enough. I believe there was a lot of injuries. People were getting cut and dropped and released and traded and all kinds of stupidity. But whatever, man. It just, I believe they had a year together, but I think injury. But just if this team on paper, like I said, if that team, I believe it was 12 or 13, 11, one of them. Yeah, just imagine you got Vic. And now you're taking Vic over Hurts, right? Then we're talking Shady. Yeah, of course, Shady and Barkley. What are you doing? We got D Jackson, Smitty. What are we doing? We got Macklin and AJ. Woo, it's getting crazy. Selleck, Goddard. Like, it's crazy, not to mention an offensive line. Like, it's wild to think of these two teams. If it was just a shootout back and forth and we're putting traffic cones in front of them and see who's going off, like, it's just dynamic to think. I mean, just, you know what, at the end of the day, I just feel blessed to have witnessed both of them, not enough of the former, or the latter, rather. So much I can't wait to see what's going on with the former, though, coming up in this current year. Oh, my God, what do y'all think? Leave it down in the comments. Who would be better? Or just whatever offense you got being the greatest offense of all time for these birds, man. And it's crazy because the two that I'm bringing up, we haven't seen one yet, and we weren't allowed to see one enough. So, I don't know, just off the top of the head, inside the mind of the maniac, few things that I'm thinking is going through my mind. Oh, yeah, we had a bunch of presses last week, man. It's good to see the dudes back in town, man. Jalen Hurts talking about how he feels about Kellen Moore's offense and all that. He just wants some stability over there on the offensive side of the ball. It was great hearing the defensive players. It was great hearing Cam Jurgens talk about, you know, what's going on with him. Not to mention the GM spoke, the owner spoke. Like there was so much speaking, right? But it led me to believe, and this is going to tie kind of coexist, with the draft and all that. Leads me to believe, just hearing what Howie was saying as far as, and even Cam Jurgens, I believe, leaked a little bit too, just saying how, you know, it was a blessing that he got to sit there with Kelsey, right? And the fact that the two young defensive linemen, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, got to sit there with Cox. I don't believe Fletcher Cox really picked out his replacement as far as those two dudes go. But, you know, from what I understand, Kelsey was hands-on as far as picking up Cam Jurgens. And I've understood that our boy Lane Johnson has got a lot to say about Tyler Guyton. So with that rationale and going with that thinking, and then Howie reiterating that and bringing that up during his presser, saying that, it's a benefit to have those guys play with those guys. And I know a lot of fans out there hate to see our first round picks not playing that first year, but it's the Eagle way. And for the most part, if you really look at it, unless the dude is like a crazy, ridiculous phenom, I mean, not even Patrick Mahomes played his first year. And this is a 10th overall pick. I mean, we've got Devontae Smith to look back at, who played his first year, went off. I mean, Jalen Hurts got a little bit at the end of his first year, I believe. And Patrick Mahomes did the same thing at the end of his first year, got a little bit of burn. So by that rationale and the fact that Lane Johnson feels that we got another actually that's a Super Bowl over there on NFL Network. What's that? New Orleans versus the Colts. So I can't be that mad today. But I mean, like, come on, man. I need more Eagles on NFL Network. If anyone knows why we're not on there, like, as much as we should be, at least, like, as a rotation, man. Like, they don't, like, is there any method to their madness? Can I not see my guys? Regardless whom or what. No, let's get back to it. Maniacs got a tendency to spin, right? Out of control. We've got Tyler Guyton, and that's the guy that Lane Johnson seems, at least that we're hearing, that they want to throw on this offensive line so he can mentor his guy. You put him in there right there next to Lane Johnson for a year, get him to learn off of him. If not the next 2 years, get him to learn off of him. Boom, boom, boom. And then we can just roll it right in and we keep this machine rolling. I know there's so many other pieces out there, but there's also something else that Howie Roseman said during the press conference along the lines of he tries to set up, much like we all believe anyway, you try to set it up through free agency prior to the draft so that you can approach the draft from not a position of need, but a position of taking the best available. Like, you got your list, you've got your standards, your scouts out there saying who they think is this, that, and the third, and go get them. If the draft board fits up the way you like it, and boom, you could go after whatever you want to go to. But I mean, us just knowing the Eagles, I can't think that we're going anywhere but offensive line as it stands right now. And real talk, I wouldn't even be mad at it, man. So yeah, got the draft coming up, and I've been saying that for quite some time, and I've been stuck on that one. I've said a lot of things. We want, I like Melton, I like DeJohn, I like Nate Wiggins. There's so many. I want to have them all. Just like Pokemon is how I feel like. I want all the greatest players on the flocking Eagles, but just us doing what's responsible. It won't be the flashy thing, but I think it's the responsible thing to shore up that offensive line. Go and get Lane Johnson's replacement, or even just the fact that, I mean, we know it's some competition for Tyler Steen. I mean, I've even been looking at powers like, sheesh, a little bit of competition for Cam Jurgens. Like, if he's available, this draft is just loaded with such talent at the offensive line position, not to mention almost at every position. So it's crazy. Can't wait to see what's going down 6 days. Woo! Can't fucking wait. But just one last thing before we get out of here, man. Another thing that D-Jax and Shady was talking about with John Clark the other day, the run or pass. Another question I posed to y'all, like, what are we going to predicate this offensive on? Run first, pass first. And Shady kept saying that it was run first. No, it was run first 2 years ago when we made it to the Super Bowl. And I'm like, dog, like, nah, we passed to set up the run for the most part. I get it when we were put back against the wall. I guess more often than not, we may have leaned on the run a bit more than we did in the past season rather. However, it was pass to set up the run and run late. It's pass, get a lead on these dudes, and pin our ears back, make these guys have to throw the ball, and then we're coming with the attack, and then ball possession, yeah. Boom, run it. You know what I wanted to say, but I'm not going to say. We're going to chill out. We're going to try and chill out, be mature about this, right? So we've got that aspect of it. But then listen to D-Jack, the receiver, because, of course, Shady's going to say, let's run this ball. That's what we've always done. Like, oh, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Simple, like, you wild. I know what you saw, what you thought you saw, but that's what really happened. You know what I mean? And then D-Jax, oddly enough, just not so much saying run first, because this is a passing team, dog. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. However, there has to be a commitment to the run. He was talking 65-35, 60-40, 70-30, something of that ilk. 60-40 would be amazing. We would all love that. However, it's not what Laurie wants. It's not what Laurie does. It's really not what the league really does. But I mean, just the fact, the presence of mind to stay committed to the run changes everything up, because we're talking about a Saquon Barkley, amazing running back, an amazing running quarterback in Jalen Hurts. We have to commit some of the time, allocate some of the time to pass and not get stuck in a way like, damn, we're down. This game isn't going quite the way we want it. And then you just keep passing. So that way too many times last season. You got to keep the defensive honest. And I don't think there was enough of that last season. So not so much a commit to the run, but a run fit and stick to that. It's wild to say that because you want to change. You want to be an amoeba during the game. You don't want to stick to something that they know is coming. But I mean, if you're sticking to you have to keep the defensive honest. Bottom line, at the end of the day, and I just can't wait to see how this thing pans out for the season. Not to mention the guys showed up working out, man. These guys are getting a workout in. They're building that camaraderie. They're building that connection. I love to see it. Another thing that was awesome about last week is hearing Devontae Smith after his press conference. No, after him signing the contract during his press conference, speaking to the relationship that him and AJ have. And I hope that lent itself to washing away a lot of the BS that people are thinking about A.J. Brown. I said it last week and I'll say it again. I don't think it comes from a place of selfishness. I think it's like a selfless selfishness, if you know what I mean, because much like Devontae Smith said, they want to be a part of the winning so bad. They want to win so bad and they want to be a part of it. They want to lend themselves to it and they believe they can. What they do on the field lends itself to winning football. And we can't be mad at that. Not to mention the relationship between the two and how they're just there for each other. At the kids talking on the phone together, them talking every day. They didn't know each other before they got here. I mean, I'm pretty sure they knew about each other, right? And it's just amazing to see that relationship come to fruition. One of my favorite aspects of Sirianni's 5 core principles, that being the connection piece. And I believe that's a big part of any team. You just see the camaraderie. I know y'all probably don't want to ever watch the Knicks a lot. And you just see where that team gels. They got those Nova Knicks over there. And just what they have done for that locker room, I'm seeing that and lending itself to winning. And I love what we got over here. And the fact that we bring back a CJ, a guy that was a big part of this locker room. The energy, like if you look back at the videos from the season prior, just them, it's just something was missing when that dude left. And we lost 2 big pieces this season of that connection piece, but let's just get this thing going again. And we've locked up so many players so that we have a great core going for the next 4 or 5 years. Malata, Dickerson, Hurts, Barkley, AJ, Smitty, just having these guys to be around, definitely going to be around for about the next 4 or 5 years. Not to mention, I believe Lane also, who's one of the cores. And then you've got Brandon Graham lending that culture forward for his last year. Man, it's going to be wild seeing him. Let's celebrate this last season that we got him. And I just can't wait to see this thing play out, y'all. I know y'all feel the same, man. But to the next time, make it your best time. In the meantime, between time, keep it a great time. You already know how I like to do around this time. About to stop at this time. It's always Eagles o'clock right here. Keep your eagle eye open, poke your beak, and give me the eagle screech. And we got questions. What questions? What you gonna do when Eagle Mania swoops down and runs wild on this draft? Let's flock and go. Say it with me one time. EAGLES. Eagles. Yeah, I'm working on it. Woo! Oh, yeah. Get the flock out of here.